Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, hero of Reich, defender of the fatherland, and here to bring you another lovely Propagandacast. Today I have for you a 1v1 on Angoville. Yes, indeed, we shall be fighting a bit on Angoville. And who shall be doing the actual fighting, though? Well, in the southern corner we are seeing Emlost of the British, of the 42nd Infantry Division, going up against AirReloaded. Yes, indeed, our friend AirReloaded will be taking the fight to the Brits with the, let's say 21st Panzer Division. And let us get right down to it. Let us see what he will be doing. Will he be going for something dastardly like the 5 Pioneer start, with lots of grenadiers and a half-track? And if he does, well, how will our British compadre here fare with it? He's going up for the Bren carrier, so certainly expecting something right off the bat. I mean, the Bren carrier is a rather mobile piece of vehicular business. With the Bren guns, of course, that can be quite useful. So question is he sort of expecting the Pioneer start? Because, well, that is what you mostly see in the higher levels by now anyways. Pioneers heading westwards, and yes, indeed, we are seeing 3 Pioneer teams more coming out of the Reich headquarters, yet no Wehrmacht quarters. So yes, indeed, this is probably going to be a 5 Pioneer start. Krieg barracks and grenadiers, possibly a half-track. Sneaky and dastardly AirReloaded. I'd certainly not figure him for the time. Well, I actually had, but you know, one doesn't like to see it. But let's still see. I mean, the reason I chose this cast is not because he did it, but how the British player actually reacts to it. Pioneers already forced retreat, rather realizing they can't really take on a Bren carrier. The Bren carrier, one of many series of carriers sort of developed in the interwar period. And if the French design, which was quite similar as anything to go by, was basically a sort of device to sort of pull things between the trenches and ensure stuff could actually get to the trenches securely, which was a bit of a problem during the First War. Bren carrier being forced away. Of course, the Bren carrier itself ended up being used partly as a reconnaissance vehicle, partly as transport, and partly as a very tiny weapons platform. It had flamethrower variants. I believe it even had some with an anti-tank, and although not the large one, it's sort of the 2-pounder such. But headquarters is up. Another intersection on the way. Pioneers sort of doing a bit of harassment there, running about, being devious little buggers, and of course haven't gone straight through the missions. I mean, we can already imagine that Emlost is figuring what he needs to go for, and that of course will be something very heavy in infantry, which of course he needs some bloody munitions for. At the same time, AirReloaded is already going for a bunker. Bunker is up, in fact, quite swiftly, leaving the Bren carrier unable to do much about that. The Bren gun wasn't really meant to take on bunkers. Pioneers running about, taking up positions right there. Infantry section ready. Already AirReloaded has secured most of the map. Brits though are fighting and pushing onwards against the Krauts, the Huns, securing what they can otherwise. And Pioneers being handed down by the Bren carrier, trundling forwards, opening up on the Pioneers and forcing the Pioneers away. Retaking this position, Pioneers laying down mines already rather swiftly, of course ensuring that if the Bren carrier decides to move through there, it's going to get a nasty surprise. And also moving in here to deny anything to the British before connecting it. Very aggressive approach from AirReloaded, which is usually the thing you do with the 5 Pioneer start. That is, of course, be as quickly as able to sort of seize a lot of territory from your opponent, and that's currently what he's doing with all those 5 Pioneers, just seizing territory, laying down tank traps, it seems like, building bunkers, all the nasty stuff. Lieutenant ready though to support. I imagine we'll soon be seeing some sort of field support truck, Bren guns being equipped for the infantry section, and looks like it might be joining up with the Bren carrier. Yes, indeed. Infantry section popping in, and there we go. Again, that gap right here in the base. Pioneers running straight through it, but being hunted down by the Bren carrier of doom, with some Bren gunners soon getting ready in it. Pioneers, there we go. Bren gunners ready. That's 3 Bren guns, 1 Bren carrier. Pioneers running away most swiftly, and the Brits are securing what they can from the eastern half of the map. Certainly handling this alright at this stage. Field support truck on the way at the same time. Krieg barracks is going up. Bren carrier charges forwards for King George, and Pioneers sneaking in once more towards the base to do a bit of harassment right there. Although note that it's not really going to do much, since the HQ truck actually has itself connected with all of this, and this will only disconnect it from that. So again, that's a bit of a wasted effort, but you know, what the hell. Bren Gunners firing away, Pioneers moving in, one down, the first loss. Pioneers being forced away, second Pioneer team now under fire as well, one down again. And the Bren Gunners just keep on firing, of course. When they are in the Bren carrier, they can of course fire while moving, otherwise any light machine guns actually have to be standing still to fire functionally. Grenadiers opening up on the carrier, medics pulling up the wounded. Victory point being seized, and the Brits are running back to base to deal with that little interruption by the Pioneers. Point has in fact been harassed by the Bren carrier, but now the engine is damaged. Oh dear, and there's the mine. Oh no, that could be the end of the Bren carrier. A most tragic loss. Pioneers under fire, one down. Could the other one go down as well, perhaps even sniped? And the Bren carrier hits the mines. Whiz out of control. Pioneers hunting it down. Pioneer team though is lost to the threat of the British. Well, the British are securing what they can of the western half. Bren Gunners running away. Not able to get back to Old Blighty though, while Grenadiers are running about and getting ready to mount an assault in the north, where there's only currently a lieutenant to hold everything together. Field support truck advancing. Another infantry section on the way from the headquarters command truck. That's what we like to see. 3 infantry section. Lots of Grenadiers and Pioneers charging through in the north, forcing the poor lieutenant away. 3 Grenadier teams already, of course. Pioneers sneaking about in the west. Medics pulling in the wounded. Might end up with another Grenadier team somewhat shortly. Pioneer saying about the bunker. I could certainly imagine he might be going defensive right there. Grenadiers in the north, but still Emlost is holding on quite decently. Firing away, killing Pioneers. Fresh mine laid down by AirReloaded. Good move there, but in this case the reconnaissance chap spotted actually. Will they deal with it? And oh, fraps, please behave nicely. There we go. And rifle grenades. Rifle grenades is a rather nice upgrade. Really can do quite a bit of damage towards infantry if they hit. Of course, the question is if they actually hit. But trust me, when they do hit, they can do quite a bit of damage, forcing the Grenadiers away. The firepower is simply too overwhelming. Once more, the Pioneers try to go for this point. And British forces are advancing once more to take back what was lost. Field support truck is ready. Sapper team on the way. And what else is going on here? Lots of Grenadiers as of still. Pioneers mucking about, getting shot up. Need to be careful with those mines. No! And setting him off. Apparently Mr. Emlost forgot about it, but he's still advancing. Both Grenadiers have suffered some losses. Pioneers there might get discovered by the reconnaissance chaps. And the Brits are on the run again. Field support truck on the way with the captain. Pack 38 ready to put a stop to any Stuart nonsense. Hiding in the corn or in the field or in the tall grass, whatever it is. And once more Pioneers forced away from there. Pioneers also on the run. Sappers ready with the Piet in case of half-tracks or anything else. And Captain still continuing on his way. Casualty clearing station going up, although in this case it's a bit too much out in the open, a bit too easily accessible for an enemy that might appear through there. And there we go. In fact, Bren Gunners getting shot up. They are much too exposed. Piat firing away. Bren Gunners need to retreat. They're out in the open. The Grenadiers are just attacking. Oh dear. Bren Gunners retreat. And Rough Grenadiers though are advancing to fire at the Grenadiers. Of course they can fire across Bocage. And once more fraps aside. It needs to make my life hell. And let us see if it can stay stable this time around. Grenades getting locked at the Rough Grenadiers. Casualty clearing station is knocked out rather swiftly. Again, be careful with where you place such buildings. They are what I'd call high priority targets. That is, if your opponent sees them, he's going to do everything is in his powers to immediately knock it out. Because again, it's the sort of thing that decreases attrition and sort of gives you extra infantry on the fight in the long run, I suppose. In which case, that usually means it's going to be a pretty high target for your opponent. And that's what rather happened here. Captain running about, seizing territory. Medics getting shot up by the Brits. Sappers having none of that. So they sap the Pioneer medics. Kampfkraft sent up, thus meaning of course veterancy for the Grenadiers. 4 Grenadier teams now up, one with Panzer The rest not with them. The context in securing territory in the south. In fact, the British commander is doing his best to actually gain quite a bit of territory. Doing nicely, in fact. And the medic bunker could come within range of the PS very soon. British troops moving into support. This could be a very strong assault. Grenadiers moving forwards. Others spreading out towards these with pioneer support. And one goes down to a Piat round. And the captain, finding himself in the midst of unfriendly Huns, gets gunned down, massacred, murdered. And as poor captain, we barely knew ye. And other grenadiers now under fire. Rifle grenades, Bren guns. One grenadier goes down, and Fraps decides to go down as well. Damn you, Fraps. Grenadiers now forced away. And let's try again. No idea why Fraps decides to act like this today. And to all those deciding, you want to offer us, helpful advice, they're doing it because of this or that, it will... I mean, trust me, it's just doing it for no apparent reason. I have plenty of space and all that, just for occasionally Flaps decides, well, it just wants to be silly. And he has grenadiers now reformed from the medic bunker, but the medic bunker is cleared up. Artillery from the lieutenant, of course, meaning he has gone for artillery. And let's go have a look at AirReloaded, who has gone Blitzkrieg. Grenadiers getting shot up.
What do you want?
5 grenadier teams, 4 pioneer teams. No, wait, that's right. Recon section continues here in the west. Continues taking this point. A Stuart light tank now ready as well, of course, completely unawares that the Pack 38 is ready there to put an end to it, if it's a bit uncareful. And pioneers sneaking in, going for the fuel, but are driven off by rifle grenadiers. Lots of munition being prepared for Emlost. Grenadiers getting shot up, trying to assault the British position. Bren gunners, Piats, but the Brits are quickly getting outmanned, no matter what. Veterancy 2 for the lieutenant, nicely done there. And let's try again, and let's see if Fraps can't... Oh, Fraps, why must you be so tiresome at times? Let us see if that helped. Absolutely not. And... no, still acting up. Right, let's try again. Apparently, still no luck in finding out what the devil is going on. My apologies. Recon section getting shot up. Alright, that helped. It seems, whatever I did. Grenades getting knocked at the recon section, forced away. Grenadiers, though, getting shot up in return by the Stuart light tank, and a cancer shot completely finished it off. Nice move there. Stu 42 on the way to blow the Brits to hell. Oh dear, large British force hiding right here. And another casualty clearing station again out in the open. Again, I'm not entirely keen on that. Perhaps here would be a better choice. But probably just me being silly. Stu 42 advances. Oh dear, the sappers are caught right out in the open. Stu 42 though pulls away at the same time. Stuart gets ready to do something. Not sure what. Those sappers taking fire, but so far no dead, no wounded. Securing what there, and so far the British commander is actually doing pretty decent, considering what he's been pitted against, and has in fact more or less managed to stabilize the situation, at least briefly. So that's always nice to see. And now Fraps is again being... I have absolutely no idea why you're doing that. Point secured. And again, why is Fraps doing this? At all times, it could be doing it. It decides to do it now when I don't have the time for it at all. Right. Stu 42 advancing, opening up. Bocage absorbs the fire. PS though is able to fire back at it. Not quite this good situation for the Stu 42. Another bunker sub grenadier charge. Lots of sappers now with PS. This is a bit flopping though. Stuart moves in. Will there be a cancer shot? He certainly has the munitions for it. One with 2 points being secured. 2 high munitions point in fact being secured by trucks.
We are losing territory.
Sappers firing away, the Stu 42 being a bit too close for its own health. Grenadiers hiding nearby, medic bunker going up again. Another grenadier team moving out to replace the one lost. Armor command truck ready. Stu 42 just blasting away without achieving much at this stage. Rifle section of the reconnaissance kind coming under fire from grenadiers advancing. So let us see how that goes. And again, Fraps is just being so tiresome. Right, seems to have stabilized itself again, but for how long I cannot say. It does distress me. Mostly because I know I'll then be receiving tons of helpful tips, which of course won't do anything for me, because, well, they rarely seem to grasp the problem, which is that Fraps just seems to be doing it for random, and I never really seem to fall into the criteria people offer to help with. And Stu advances, opening up on the sapper team on it from an angle that had not counted on. Grenadiers to inside the building, getting shot up. Another grenadier team with the Panzer strike. Oh dear, he is a bit on his own. He could be cleared out and is in fact killed. Another grenadier team could be lost. This is a very poor engagement for AirReloaded. Oh dear me, grenadiers on the way. Sappers getting shot up. And now the running perhaps towards to deal with this. 242 couldn't button it down. So fucking lucky. Well, this is not about luck. You charge into a stupid position. There you go, AirReloaded. I do try to be kind. And a Goliath is right nearby. Stuart marking him out a bit, but not getting knocked out. Stu 42 getting buttoned up, getting shot up. Not doing too well at this stage. Quite a bit of fire being directed at it. In fact, Tommy got AirReloaded moving in from the north. Lots of grenadiers, but the Stu 42 really takes up most of his attention. There's Emlost, and I do believe it's about time for the mid-game analysis. So what is the situation, except Fraps is being quite unreasonable for as usual, no bloody reason. Well, having seen a rather aggressive 5 Pioneer start from AirReloaded, well, things have gone, well, a bit alright for Emlost, who was able to decently counter it, although he's still under quite a bit of pressure, though. Now he does have the Cromwell tank, which could provide a nice edge against the German forces, against the Stu 42, of course. Question is, will he be able to leverage this properly, and for how long? Well, of course, AirReloaded still seems to be holding the main advantage in infantry. The medic bunker is up again. He does have a Pack 38 to do a bit of damage to that Cromwell, but then again, Emlost does have the artillery, which could be used quite efficiently against the positions of AirReloaded. And, well, of course, have to see how that works out with the armor, and of course, AirReloaded is currently not quite having much in terms of armor. He has a Stu 42, but that's about it. So let us return to the fight and see how that goes. Fraps has currently stabilized it itself again, and the casualty killing station again, bad position, getting bombarded by the Stu 42. Getting hit in the rear. Grenadiers coming under fire from the Stuart light tank, which is firing away with its cancer shot, but not doing quite much in this time. Grenadiers running away. The Stuart light tank being too much for it, for them. And lots of British troops getting ready for another advance. The cancel cleaning station is for now still standing though. Brits still might want to launch a counterattack perhaps to secure this area. That would certainly be a good move if it could be done as swiftly as possible. Of course, sometimes you really have to just be aggressive and push on no matter the cost to really get the advantage and throw your opponent off guard. Stu 42 advances, rifle grenades flying. Grenadiers and pioneers possibly getting hit. And the Stu 42 gets fired upon by the Cromwell. Sappers and Stuart light tank though nowhere nearby to assist. Stu 42 with Veteran 21 quickly pulling out of there. And Veteran 22 on the way for the German infantry of the Reich. And the north, the lieutenant is facing quite a threat. More grenadiers and some pioneers. And Emlost seems a bit indecisive as what to do. He's threatened on all sides. Of course, the main trick would be here to sort of deal with it one at a time and blow it out, clear it out, and knock it out. Doesn't seem to be quite on his mind. Cromwell still getting repaired. Ralph Grenadiers getting grenaded. Stuart on the hunt for grenadiers. And grenadiers advancing through here. Stu 42 in support. And Stu 42 getting away then just as quickly. Getting bombarded and peppered with Piat rounds. A Bren gun could button it down. That would be a nice move, you know. But apparently not. Emlost has in fact not really buttoned down anything, which is a bit odd since that's actually what most British players love to do. Artillery getting called in. Pinning down the German infantry, doing quite a bit of damage. And the anti-tank gun is getting flanked. Grenadier team is gone. Sappers getting bombarded by their own artillery. They are cleared out. Oh dear. And the Brent gunners too. Pack 38 managed to clear out the Cromwell. Oh dear. That was absolutely horrific. That was anything but good artillery targeting, I'd say. I mean, hitting your own infantry and having the infantry too close in the first place. That was quite devastating. Brent gunners. Oh dear. Brent gunner team also cleared out. Those were quite some horrific losses for Emlost, and that was pretty much all his own bloody fault. Staghound armored car ready. We might be seeing a... And the lieutenant. Oh, Emlost, you were doing so well, and now you're just... throwing it away. Grenadiers under quite a bit of fire. Stuarts and Staghound now opening up on the Grenadiers. And looks like a priest self-propelled artillery piece has arrived. Always nice for that. All the Allied forces, or the Commonwealth forces, actually used this sexton, which was quite similar. The only difference was it was using a 25-pounder. This is using the 105mm howitzer, and there was actually a difference between the two. Unlike the 6-pounder gun and the American 57mm anti-tank gun, those were in fact the same, as the Americans had rather realized they didn't have a medium-sized, by that time's medium-sized anti-tank gun, and rather realized, oh wait, we need one. But look, the Brits have one, can't we use that? Well, sure. And that's how the 57mm anti-tank gun came to be. They basically just took the British 6-pounder. Recon section being faced with quite a grenadier force, some with Piats, some with Panzer Shreks, some with something else. Priest moving about, ready to preach to the choir if necessary. And Staghound still sort of stagging about. Infantry section heading northward to secure the victory point right there. And let's return to Emlost. I said Emlost. Emlost. There we go. And Cromwell tank on the way. No Fireflies as of yet. Pack 38 still moving out. In fact, a second Pack 38 is getting ready. Grenadiers advancing. And Commandos joining in, is that? No, wait, it can't be. Something else though. Just thought I heard the glider sound. Munitions being lobbed at the Grenadiers. One rifle Grenadier goes down in return. Staghound not really doing much to support the British lads in the north against the Hun foe. Grenadiers getting shot up, advancing still though. Staghound Still not quite moving about, and apparently using his artillery on those grenadiers who are just about retreating. Seems quite frankly wasteful. Oh, fraps. You did it again, didn't you? And the grenadiers under fire, getting shot up. Cromwell coming under fire itself from a Pack 38. They will have to get out of there. Though again, why he fired that priest right there is beyond me. There was absolutely no reason for it. Another lieutenant to replace the one lost. Reconnaissance moving about in the south. Awfully wounded, awfully depleted. Not a lot of infantry left for Emlost. Most of it lost in some horrific manner or the other. Again, mostly due to that very disastrous artillery barrage he proceeded to walk into himself. That's generally not how you go about artillerying your opponent. Recon section coming under fire from Grenadiers. Grenadiers being quite ready to place a boot up their throat if necessary. And artillery going in right here. Grenadiers on the run. Artillery barrage apparently called in by an officer. Most of the grenadiers actually make it out of there. The buildings are not quite as lucky, getting blown up, while some pioneers salvage the Stu-42 for any munitions. Goliath advancing, it seems like. And no, that's just the pack.
German forces are trying to take a petrol sector.
Moving about in the south, grenadiers seizing what they can. Stuart under fire from the pack. Staghound moving in. And the priest is firing against the Pack 38. First shot absolutely misses. Second one kills a gunner. And of course immediately uncloaking it so it can actually move faster. Good move right there, AirReloaded. Grenadiers in the north coming under fire. Staghounds blasting away. Grenadiers getting shot up by the Stuart and everything else. Interesting enough, no upgrades of machine guns to the Staghound, and no further attempt at using canister rounds. Pack 38 though blasting away at the British armor, Sabres trying their best to repair. Grenadiers getting suppressed on the southern approach. Clutching their helmets and screaming. Grenadiers forced away. The Stuart barely stopped that. And the Grenadiers are also getting mucked up right here in the north. Another Goliath gets ready to deliver high explosive death onto the British forces.
Grab hold of something, men. We're gonna dispatch coming through.
And heading further north, the priest gets closer to its... oh, I don't know. I can't remember it right now. The word has slipped, I fear. But Grenadiers are advancing, moving in to save their Pack 38. The Graf Grenadiers are not quite happy about need to pull away. And some artillery gets called in. And the priest also decides to fire away, perhaps hoping to hit that pack. And a Tiger has arrived. Tiger 1E, also known as the Panzer 6. That's certainly going to prove quite a quandary for the British forces, who don't quite have the heavy anti-tank assets to handle that. Sabres fire a few Pied rounds, but that doesn't seem to be doing much either. Sabres equipped with repair equipment. Firefly on the way. Brits moving through here. And running straight into Goliath, and are completely eviscerated in a cloud of blood and dust. You can see the blood actually. Oh dear. Germans making ready for another northern assault. sappers coming under fire. And priest blasts at the grenadiers, killing quite a few. Tiger though is still there in the north. Firefly still not ready, but the British armour persists nonetheless. They hound the larger Tiger. Cromwell, Staghound and Stuarts running straight into the Pack 38 though. Main gun destroyed, grenadiers slaughtered by the cancer shot. Firefly ready with the 17-pounder gun. Not that there wasn't a 17-pounder variant of the Cromwell, actually that was called the A30 Challenger. But that was actually a slightly enlarged chassis of the Cromwell. And that might actually require making a much more different model, which might also have a bit more problem moving about the map actually, as I suspect. So that might be a reason why it wasn't actually brought in. There's of course also the Achilles, which was a 17-pounder variant of the M10 Wolverine. And Sabbath's getting slaughtered by the Tiger. In fact, the Brits have quite a few variants on the theme of, hey, let's try sticking a 17-pounder gun on this. There was also a Churchill which was called the Black Prince, but that stayed in the prototype phase. So there you go. And then there of course there was some other bits as well. But the Brits were quite fond of the 17-pounder gun. Too bad they couldn't get enough mounted all tanks, so they sort of had to spread them out to their armor units, so each one would have basically one per squadron. The rest would be regular Shermans or something else. Grenadiers advancing, Firefly rather exposed, Sabbath's trying to protect it. Cromwell under fire, artillery going down on the Grenadiers there, hiding in the house. Firefly gone, the Tiger and Grenadiers proved too much. Cromwell and Stuart are in a very bad place. Tiger advances, Grenadiers do so as well. Grenadiers were apparently slaughtered, yes indeed. But the Tiger moves undaunted. Another Cromwell ready. Tiger slightly pulls back.
Jerry's hitting one of our forward sectors.
And the Goliath sneaking in. Will it be able to get close enough? Or is it just hiding? As that is what Goliath can do when in cover. They can cloak, and there we go. Goliath hiding a little bugger. Tiger sort of holding the British at bay. Another Firefly on the way, but I doubt that will last. Cromwell's advancing, undaunted, quite ready to sacrifice themselves. Even the Stuart moves in. Hoping to buy time for the Firefly to arrive. Cancer shot going in. Will the priest get ready to bombard? That could be the thing needed. But no. Apparently it's just not quite ready. Sabbath. Oh dear, the armor command truck was lost. The Sabbath did not try to repair it. And now the priest fires. Now it preaches its gospel of British firepower superiority.
Overwatch abilities have been passed down the line. RT able to cover kill teams.
And the Goliath moves in for the kill. Very few Brits are in fact left. And the Goliath moving in against the Brits. And there we go. Brits are on the run. But it is too late, and the Brits are all dead except the priest, with no one to preach to. But there you go. GG, I'd say. The 42nd Infantry Division has lost to the 21st Panzer Division with support from a Tiger battalion. My goodness, hiccups, no! Not the best cast, I fear. At least not in technical terms. Quite a few things went wrong, and for that I apologize. But sadly tomorrow is a busy day, so I can't really afford too much time on this. Of course, I usually try to cast the day before. So, yeah. Go figure. But nonetheless, what can we learn from this fight? Well, I mean, we saw the rather aggressive Pioneer start, executed quite nicely by our friend AirReloaded, although I preferably not like to see it, but still we have to look at it actually and see what it does. I mean, it rather, again, sort of aggressive, takes as much territory as possible, and what did we then see from him? Lost, well, he sort of went for the Brenker right away, sort of suspecting it. He did alright, in fact. But then things sort of went off a hinge. I mean, he sort of kept placing casualty clearing stations in the wrong spot, and the place where it really went wrong was when he walked into his own artillery barrage. I mean, these were some rather fundamental mistakes which he kept making, which rather lost him the game, I suspect. Plus, you probably ought to be expecting some sort of heavy arm when you saw the 242, so a 17-pounder gun would perhaps not have been an entirely bad idea either. And I'm not entirely sure if should have gone for the Priest as well. I mean, for that you could have gone for the 25-pounder gun as well. I mean, at least that's my sort of interpretation of things. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, why not subscribe to tell a friend? And if you didn't, well, why not send in a replay of your own? This is Bill Dane saying cheers.